Welcome to the Mount Pleasant Podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Cleary, and all thanks to the great people of Mount Pleasant Magazine, I get the honor, the privilege of introducing you to Mount Pleasant, the people who make it such a special place to do business, to work, and even to live. We're introducing you to Mount Pleasant's best on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. One of these could win you some big money, and we'll tell you how today on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Evan Murray is with us. He is a member of the Daniel Island Rotary Club and the director of this year's Charleston Duck Race. Evan, we're excited about the event. Let's start with the exciting news that the Duck Race is returning to the Wando River. What's that all about?
So thanks for having me. First and foremost, love the podcast. I'm excited to be here. The Wando River was kind of big news for us. We've been working to get back into the Wando River for a number of years, and we've tried a number of different methods, from the Coast Guard to the Navy to some of these shipping boats, and we finally found our mark this year with the help of Cape Romaine contractors. So a little bit of background: we got kicked off the Wando Bridge about nearly 10 years ago at this point. We have our 30,000 rubber ducks suspended to drop into the Wando River. And, in all fairness, I'd probably be doing the same, but someone kind of was staring at the crane rather than the cars in front of them and caused an accident. So that was kind of strike one. And I guess we don't get three strikes, just one. So South Carolina Department of Transportation sent us away. And we've been looking for a way back into the Wando River for a number of years. And with a barge crane this year, we'll be back out there on the Wando River.
Man, we are excited about it. There's no doubt about it. It's coming up on June 14th. Now, the Daniel Island Rotary Club is the main club, but there are other Rotaries. Let's bring everybody in. This is really kind of a Lowcountry Rotary Club event, right?
That's absolutely right. So there's 9 clubs involved in total, ranging from Somerville to Mount Pleasant, all the North Charleston clubs as well. And then even out to the newest satellite club, Cainhoy Peninsula out there. And all of them have their own spin on what they focus on. And it's great because each of us gets to focus on different charities that we want to give to throughout the local community.
Before we dive into more of the details about the duck race, let's talk a little bit about Rotary, Evan, because I don't know that everybody understands exactly what a Rotary Club is. So how do you explain what the Daniel Island Rotary Club is to someone?
Yeah, so I used to have kind of a different answer to this question, but I like to answer it because when I joined in 2021, I had just recently come out of the military. I had no idea what a Rotary Club was. I thought perhaps they were that group that wore the fezzes, but not the case. They are a philanthropic organization. And when I started doing research on Rotary Clubs, it's an international organization worldwide through over 130 countries. And one of the ones that stuck out to me was from Korea. They actually helped rebuild the town of Seoul after the Korean War. And they're a very proud and historic club. And, every club has a different focus, ranging from the Hilton Head Club that's very focused on ending polio, all the way to the Charleston clubs, which are pretty primarily focused on Alzheimer's research and outreach to the community and things like that, small service projects.
So, Evan, who is it that can become a Rotary Club member, and how does that process happen?
Yeah, so anybody can join. All they have to do is look for your local chapter. So if you live in Mount Pleasant, there's a Mount Pleasant Club. If you live in North Charleston, there's actually 3 clubs there. Somerville has 3. Daniel Island downtown has 3 as well. But just look for whichever one makes the most sense for you. We all kind of have a set meeting schedule, and just come on over to the first meeting. And quite frankly, it's very family oriented. It seems like a giant extension to our family, which is amazing.
And once again, there's no necessarily hat requirement for the Rotary Club?
None that I'm aware of. At least I haven't received a fez yet. Fingers crossed.
Maybe that's a different level for you. Well, but come on, you're the director of the duck race, so you would certainly have a hat. That's what we're talking about today, the Charleston Duck Race. This is just such an amazing event. It's a lot of fun. It raises a lot of money for local charities, and it could win you some money as well. I'm Brian Cleary. Evan Murray is with the Daniel Island Rotary Club, and he is the director of this year's Charleston Duck Race. Now, Evan, the event's going to come up on Saturday, June 14th at the Daniel Island Waterfront Park. There'll be more than just the duck race going on that day, though, correct?
That's absolutely right. So we've got some family-friendly fun going on out there. I'm always kind of trying to figure out what's going to be fun for the kids. And now that I have a 3-year-old myself, it's definitely flowing a little bit more naturally. So I'm kind of stealing ideas from schools and whatnot, what they do at their little festivals. But we're going to have some, fun games for the kids, carnival style. We have some face painting. We do have like a big arts and crafts table. A number of food vendors are coming out, and we're getting a huge support from the folks that are down at the waterfront park already, with the King's Tide and the Dime joining us in the event. But there's going to be a number of events throughout the day, with the ducks dropping approximately around 12:30. We're kind of trying to gauge the tide. We did a boat check ride, as I mentioned to you earlier, Brian, yesterday, to kind of gauge how quickly the ducks would be moving in that water.
In 1982, it was East Cooper Magazine. Now it's Mount Pleasant Magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine is about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Your community, your magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine.
You're listening to the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
How long will it generally take for the ducks to complete their race?
So that's what we were trying to gauge yesterday. We dropped the ducks about an hour after high tide, from the shift to high to low tide at their point. And if we were to do that, it would take far too long. So we decided to kind of push that a little bit. And right now, where we're at, about an hour and a half after high tide, will push us about a 30-minute race, is what we were kind of calculating from yesterday.
So 30,000 was the number. That's a lot of these. What's the way for me to get one of these ducks so I can have a little, some, what's the phrase I can't think of? Food in the game, something in. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm a great interviewer, as you can tell. But so yep. I want to get one of these. So I've got it. So I've got a chance at winning some big money. What's my next step? How do I get a duck?
Yeah, so I would definitely suggest go to charlestonduckrace.com. It gives you all the information about the race. It also provides kind of details of where and when, who we're giving the money to, and some of our major sponsors, which I'll certainly mention during this. But that's the best way to get your ducks. You can also sign up if you're a business and you want to sponsor. We would love to have you, and especially it shows a huge bond to the community, because all of this money. It's a all volunteer race. All of us are doing it for $0. So we're all the proceeds go to these local community charities and beneficiaries throughout. And so it's a great way to show support of the local community if you're a business as well.
So Evan, let me give you the opportunity to motivate me to get some skin in this game. If my duck wins the duck race or places, there's prizes for me. What am I going to get for being the owner of the duck that wins the Charleston Duck Race?
That's absolutely right. So $10,000 is our grand prize winner. It's funny, these past 3 years, the person that's won the $10,000 mark was one duck. They bought one $10 duck. And I say $10, inflation hasn't hit us yet. $10 has been the price from our first duck race on to today.
$10 gets you the duck. You can buy, obviously, more than one duck if you'd like to. And since you hit on it, let's talk about this a little bit. We're talking about the Charleston Duck Race here on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. This is where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. I'm Brian Cleary. Evan Murray is with the Daniel Island Rotary Club, and he is the director of this year's Charleston Duck Race. So you're going to give some money to the winners, but the Rotary Club's come together to raise money for some charities. How will this money be distributed? Who's going to be beneficiaries this year of the Charleston Duck Race?
It's a great question. So every club kind of selects their own. We all try to make sure that we have, overlapping. We don't want to try to give to one charity multiple times from different clubs. But it ranges from East Cooper Meals on Wheels, East Cooper Community Outreach. A new one this year was Warrior WAD, which was something that I needed to learn about and did. We're giving money to Halos, which is a great organization. And then even some of these local schools like the Matonia Military Academy. So.
And the duck race has been going on for a number of years. You guys have donated. Can you give me any idea or give everybody a sense of how much money the duck race has raised over the years?
Absolutely. So we just reached over $2.5 million last year.
Wow.
We're targeting $250,000 for this year, as we are really pushing in all directions this year to try and make this race bigger than it has been ever, and to continue to progress the race as it moves through the years.
$2.5 million. That is a lot of money, and $250,000 will be a great amount to reach this year. Now, Evan, as the director of the duck race, I got to go at you with some specific duck questions. We've got to test your duck knowledge. So when it comes down to it, Daffy Duck or Donald Duck? What team are you on?
Well, I would say Donald Duck. He is, he's one of my daughter's favorites, actually. Out of all of the Disney characters, she somehow selected Donald Duck to be her favorite, and I'm okay with that. Other than the fact that he is in fact banned, and I'm probably going to get this wrong. I'm pretty sure it's in Norway because he doesn't wear pants.
See, you know your ducks. I knew I could come to you for duck information. All right, your favorite duck movie: Duck Soup, the Marx Brothers, Howard the Duck, or the Mighty Ducks?
Ooh, it's got to be the Mighty Ducks. I grew up as a lover of hockey, and I've always been a lover of hockey. So Mighty Ducks all the way. And in fact, I still have a Mighty Ducks jersey upstairs.
Wow. Very brave of you to admit that. Won't be wearing it, though, at the duck race, because we've got other attire and other fun coming up on June 14th. It's a Saturday, Daniel Island Waterfront, the place to be for the Daniel Island Duck Race. Now, Evan, you mentioned we've got all the Rotary Clubs from the area. You're with the Daniel Island Rotary Club. You mentioned some sponsors as well. Can you tell us who else in the community is stepping up to help out this year's event?
Absolutely. So our top two sponsors, our presenters, are the Daniel Island Community Fund and Cape Romaine Construction. But we do have a lot of major sponsors as well. Nucor Steel, Blackbaud, House of Sage, Credit One. They have been continuous supporters of the duck race for years and years and years. The Daniel Island Club is another one. There's actually a number of major donors that wish to remain anonymous, but they do donate, $3,000-$5,000 every year, and it's always so heartwarming to see these major donors that come back year over year, because they think it's such a worthy cause, and they know that the money is going to the right place.
It really is an event that brings the community together. I've been there a number of times. First of all, it's a lot of fun, but knowing that it's making such an impact really seems to take this event to another level. And so we're looking for a big crowd to come out and be a part of it. But the main thing really, I guess, is to get ducks, and all of the local Rotary clubs that are involved, they're all selling ducks themselves.
I've got, emails probably every day saying, hey, we're going to be out at Bottles in Mount Pleasant selling ducks, or we're going to be down at the Patriots Point soccer field selling ducks for the Charleston Battery game. A couple of clubs have sold at the River Dogs and the Stingray games. If you see our folks out there selling ducks, go over and talk to them. If you're not interested in purchasing a duck in that moment, they may be able to convince you, hopefully. But it might be nice to just connect if you're interested in the Rotary clubs as well.
Now, you mentioned the fact that each Rotary Club has a different charity, and you mentioned some of the charities that were involved. Can you tell me the specific charity that the Daniel Island Rotary Club is donating to this year?
Yeah, so we're kind of putting our money towards East Cooper Meals on Wheels, First Tee, and there's a couple of others that we are still in grant selection process for. We are giving some money to our international side of things, as well as our schools here. And there's some focus that we want to do towards the scholarship program. Our Rotary Club does have a heavy focus on an emphasis on learning. And so we want to make sure that we are getting the money into the hands of these students that need it. So it's something that we've been doing year over year, and it's such a wonderful process. And it's so fun to watch these kids grow up from middle school all the way through to their senior year of college and see what they're doing with their lives. And it's just so much fun to watch that scholarship program. It's probably my favorite part about Rotary.
And Evan, we want people to get ducks in advance if possible, but if they come out the day of, will ducks be for sale at the event itself?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can feel free to buy ducks online up until midnight the day before the race. And then if you come out to the race, feel free to buy ducks at our duck adoption tents. that will be set up throughout the event space. And feel free to buy more than one. If you want to buy 100, feel free. That's awesome. And we'd love to have as many people out there as possible.
More ducks you have, maybe the better chance you have to winning, although you have mentioned that the last couple of years, one duck was all it takes for someone to win. So, Evan, this is obviously something that's a passion of yours. You joined the Rotary Club back in 2001. Have to think at this point, you're pretty happy with that decision you made to become a Rotary member.
I had been away for about 6 years from Charleston and came back to realize that I didn't know too many people here and was looking to join some organizations. And it seemed like Rotary was the right fit. Everybody was very quick to make a friendship and some fellowship. And it really does feel like an extension of my family. I mean, the amount of these Rotarians that will step up to help out in personal life situations where if we needed a last minute babysitter, I know I could call 84 members of the Rotary Club of Daniel Island, and they would most likely watch our daughter.
Babysitting services. I didn't think that was a part of the Rotary Club. Once again, more facts. I'm astounded. Evan, thanks so much for your time today. Really, we just want to make certain that everybody comes out to Daniel Island Waterfront Park. Going to be a great day on the 14th, right?
Absolutely. We'd love to see you out there, and go to charlestonduckrace.com for more info.
Money that you could win, thousands of dollars could be in your pocket, but more importantly, hundreds of thousands of dollars going to local charities. That's what the Charleston Duck Race is all about, put on by the Daniel Island Rotary Club and other Rotary Clubs throughout this Lowcountry area. It's about community coming together, folks. So get this duck. Get your duck. Come out and be a part of the race. Evan and Murray, thanks so much for joining us today on the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a wonderful interview. I really appreciate it.
It's where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. We appreciate you joining me, Brian Cleary, for today's edition of the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
Thanks for spending your time with the Mount Pleasant Podcast, your community, your podcast. Listen to past and future episodes at mountpleasantpodcast.com.